We live. Ready?
Yeah.
Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to
I thought you all knew.
I Am Your Host, Tyrone Bridges. Let's get it.
Check. Check. 1, 2. Welcome, everybody. I am your host with I Thought You Knew, Tyrone Bridges. And we have a very special guest tonight, family, also civil rights activist, Mr. Lee Tooson. Say what's happening, Lee.
Everything is good, my friend. How about you?
All right, sir. Well, let's go ahead and jump right into it. You know, we don't like to wait too long, and let's get on into it.
Yep. I guess first I want to say, Ty, I got to give thanks to God Almighty for being here and being on the show again and trying to say something always or do something always that he can get the praises out of. Because there's one thing that I'm certain about. God do not like a coward soldier. He don't like coward soldiers, none at all. And he also told me and other readers that I'm not the author of confusion, and I do not put in you the spirit of fear. So we must always let our yea be our yea and our nay be our nay, regardless to what it is, who it is, and what it's about. There's no friends when right and wrong is in place. What a friend we have in Jesus. Yes, he is our friend. But watch this. We do wrong, he's not going to take that into consideration come judgment day. Because you had all time to get it right and do it right. And how you do it right? Through him who will teach you, guide you into all truth. I'm glad to be on the show again tonight. I see you, I have to keep on congratulating you because I see you still sitting on your porch.
Yes, sir.
You're on your own porch. And when you sat on your own porch, you can invite whoever you want to your show. Basically, you can, within the freedom of speech, you can talk like you want to on your own show. And I admire you for sitting on your own porch. And I want you to continue to do that.
Yes, sir.
Because, man, believe what this old 75-year-old man telling you. You go and sit on another porch, you can't talk like you're talking. You can't act like you're acting. Because they will hurriedly usher you off of that porch. So stay on your porch.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what we need to talk about tonight, but I want to make a statement, Ty, because some things, a real disturbing thing happened the other night. I watched a show where a lady was pretty much begging for mercy, not only for herself, but for her son, and mainly her son. Miss
Miss Peoples.
and Peoples. And that brought me to this thought, man. Predators do not thrive. They do not survive in Ypsilanti. Predators do not survive in Ypsilanti, and those that protect predators, they don't survive either, because they'll soon be cut down as grass, withered by the sun. So fret not yourself of evildoers, for the day coming, they're going to get it. I want to go back to the 60s when we talk about predators don't survive in Ypsilanti, don't make it in Ypsilanti, Washtenaw County. If I go back in my notes, I can go way back to in the 60s, where we had a predator that was in Detroit, predating, lost his job in Detroit for being a predator.
Mm.
That's Wayne County.
Mm.
And then he left that job and came to Inkster, Soul City.
Mm.
And he met up with another predator. And he lost that job. Now, back during those times, they wasn't really calling the police and want to keep these things hidden because of the educational level that some folk had. They hide stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they never called the police or anything of that nature, made no big case out of it. But the records are there. And then when they got fired in Inkster, they came to Washtenaw County.
Mm.
And they set up shop in Washtenaw County, but it was dissolved on allegations.
Mm.
And the allegations was never fought. Never tried to fight the allegations because they knew what they had done in those other two areas. And when that was dissolved, that particular thing they set up was dissolved. They left there and went in a basement and set up shop to take little children in and do these hideous things that he was doing. And the crazy thing about it, Ty, is that all the powers to be, when they came to Ypsilanti, all the powers to be, investigations came out, complaints about this fella. All the powers to be had a tendency to hide it and cover it up. From the city manager at the time, the police departments at the time, they covered it up. I mean, I think it was, matter of fact, I think it was under 4 police chiefs.
Mm.
There was that was L.J. McCowan. There was Suspensky. There was George Bazar. And there was Matt Hochberger. It was 4 police chiefs that covered this thing up. The powers that be. Mm. And this gentleman set up his kitty house in his basement right across the street from where the mayor lived, Paul Scheibel. He was the mayor of Ypsilanti and a close friend to this predator. Boy, who can you trust?
Wow.
Close friend to a predator. And the killing part about it, it did not stop until we got a female police chief, Amy Walker.
Mm-hmm.
She was very familiar with it because she couldn't do nothing. She couldn't do nothing about it because she was a police officer, and then she had administrators over her that, hey, they wouldn't let it fly. But when she became police chief, she put it to a parade rest.
Mm.
She made a wonderful move when she named a detective that does honest police work. She does hard searching police work. She does honest police work for an honest day's pay. But as of right now, in my estimation, she still don't get the credit that she deserves.
Mm.
But she brought it to a parade rest. And the powers that be wanted the chief, Amy Walker, to squash it. Then not today. This kite has been flying too high.
Mm.
It's time for it to come to the ground. It's time for this kite to face justice. And the victims feel somewhat satisfied.
Mm. Mm.
But you know, when you I don't know if 5 and 6 and 7 and 8-year-old boys, and like, I don't know if they can feel satisfied. They can be traumatized until they dead. But I don't know if they can ever be, I don't know if they can feel that they are satisfied when these kind of things happen.
Mm.
But this fella went to federal prison at the hands of the great job that the detective department, the Ypsilanti YPD, done.
Mm. Mm.
He went to federal penitentiary. He should have went years ago. But as I said, the powers that be, what they done, they protected him. He lived right up there in that Wood Street area, right across from Paul, Devin Mood. It's no secret. It's all over. It's all on the books.
Mm.
As a matter of fact, I don't know if it's this month or next month he's supposed to be getting out. He done done a good amount of time in there. Now, if he's rehabilitated, I don't know. We would hope so. But you know what I look at? Predators aren't ever rehabilitated. They're just like my old hound dog that I used to have, but he's down south now. You could never rehabilitate that dog from running rabbits, because he was a rabbit dog.
Mm.
And it's the same thing. I look at he's a predator. You can't rehabilitate him because he's looking at little boys, and little boys behind look good to him.
Yeah. Predator.
The satisfaction that he gets from those kind of episodes make him feel whole. So predators don't quit, man. I don't care how much time you give them.
Wow.
I don't care how much time you give them. You can shut them up in the jail and tie their holler, oh, you let it go, I ain't gonna never do it no more. But as soon as he get out, he's gonna be just like Jeremiah. When they told Jeremiah, if you stop preaching in the name of Jesus, we're gonna throw you in jail. He didn't stop. But when they throw him in jail, he said, hey, man, let me out of here. I promise you, I won't speak in his name no more. But as soon as they let Jeremiah out, and old Jeremiah went downtown and witnessed the same thing that he saw before they locked him up, you know what he said? Just like fire shut up in my bones, I got to say something. That's the same way predators are. They got to go after what they like.
Wow.
And it's really disturbing to me when you find the system protecting predators. It's really disturbing to me.
Definitely
And you
is.
see them protecting predators. Crime is crime. You can only spell it one way.
Yeah.
Justice is justice. You only can spell it one way.
Period.
But when you end up protecting those that has committed crimes, and then you let the victims go free and not doing anything for them, man, you crossed the line.
You complicit.
You have crossed the line. The system is set up to do what? Protect and serve. That's what it's set up to do. But then you have to ask yourself the question, is the system really doing that? And then the answer comes back,
No.
protect those that commit crime, but the victims, they're not doing anything for them. They're trying to rehabilitate those that commit crime, help them out, but the ones that's being victims, you can go to the boogerman. We don't care what you do. You wade out the water the best you can. And that's what becomes disturbing to me.
Yeah.
I will always take my hat off to the hardworking people, hardworking persons in the Ypsilanti Police Department.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm never going to corral all the police department, put them in one shell. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
I'm going to call out the ones that I know doing good. I'm going to call out the ones that I know got the job at heart.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones that don't have the job at heart, I will call them and tell them to their face they ain't no count. You
Right.
need to go home. You're just here to get a check.
That's
I will
it.
tell them that. And any one of them down there, you can ask them, they'll tell you. He'll tell us that. Because that's the fact. But you know what? I'm going to show you something, man. The Bible says, so is the priest. Listen to the old 75-year-old man. So is the priest. So is the people.
Mm-hmm.
However that priest is acting, good, bad, or indifference,
Mm-hmm.
that's how them people going to act.
That's it.
Why? Because they looking up to him to guide them and lead them the right way.
Right.
And they are taking their mind that whatever he's doing is right because he's connecting it with God. So I got to follow him. That's why there's some justice coming that they ain't going to be able to stand.
Mm-mm.
You understand me?
Yes, sir.
So is the priest. So is the people. So is the police chief. So is the state police commander. So is the Washington County sheriff. However they are, that's how they people are.
Yes, sir.
However the administration is, that's how the people are. And watch this, man. When you see the morale break down in police departments, it ain't them police fighting among themselves.
Mm-mm.
It's administration.
Right.
Administration, nobody can tell me that administration don't break down the morale in police departments throughout this country. Administration. Right. Administration.
You're right.
If you got a kind chief, a chief that's gonna be there fitting himself off into the community, cops see that, he talking kind and like he's supposed to be, police officers gonna do the same thing because, hey, I see the chief doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But if the chief is rotten and they know he's rotten because they in the office with him every day. Likewise, the sheriff. Likewise, the commander in the state cop
Right.
position. They there. And however they act, man, that's how them people gonna act. But now watch this. Same thing in the church. Ain't no different. However that preacher acting, that's how them folk gonna act.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to act the same way. But then there's a portion in that good book that I read. When you see junk like that happening, come out from among them.
Run.
Come out from among them. I tell the boys all the time, man, if you got your police department acting funky because of administration, there's another police agency waiting on you. Come out of there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be spoiled with that. And I tell folks in churches, if that rascal up there ain't no count, come out from up under him. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you don't, you just as guilty as he is.
That's
If
it.
you know he ain't no count, if you know he robbing, you know he guilty of forgery, you know he guilty of prostitution, you know he guilty of all those things, and you gonna sit up there and holler, amen, man, you got a whooping coming.
Period.
You got a whooping coming. But getting back to these predators, man.
Mm.
Getting back to these predators. The other night, the lady touched my heart, man. Man, she touched my heart because it was dealing with a kid and it was dealing with her as a woman.
Right.
Man, you know how society think about women.
Mm-hmm.
Society look at women as being second-class people. It don't make no difference if she black or white.
Right.
And it don't make no difference if it's the white man thinking that the white woman is subordinate to him.
Right.
The black man, he thinks the same thing. So ain't no difference there, man.
Ain't none at all.
There's no difference when it comes down to the women. Men are very dominant when it comes down to women. And the fools do not understand if it wasn't for a woman, he wouldn't be putting his pants on one leg at a time.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't fool with them folks when they started coming against women. Because my mama was one, and she was a good one.
Right.
And if nobody else can't say that about their mama, that's their business. They ain't got nothing to do with it.
That's it.
So when it comes down to women, I am a proponent of protecting and going out the deep for women.
Same
and
here.
children. Watch
Same
this
here.
time. You hear it preached from the pulpit to the back door. Children are our future. Oh, it would have been better that you put a millstone around your neck. Cast yourself into the sea than to bother one of these little ones of mine. Let's protect our children. But we ain't protecting no children. We scandalizing them, talking about their little britches hanging down below their rump. Truthfully so. But see, but what these old folks don't understand, that's old as I am, or older, they don't understand when we were young, we done something that got on old folks' nerve too.
Right.
We did. So if that get on your nerve, chastise that kid in a I'm gonna put it this way, in a Christianly fashion.
Right.
These folks talking about they going to heaven, they Christian. So I tell them, you correct it in a Christianly fashion. Do it that way.
A loving fashion. Right.
The kid will not build no remorse if you do it like that. But if you come to that kid, talking down to him, talking about, first thing to holler, you need to get saved. Woo! I heard somebody say a little while ago, save yourself, preacher. Don't mess with me, man, because I have to go way back. I go way back. And what I done read, I don't forget it. You got to be saved. Of course. Not just one day, but every day you got to be saved. Because there's a lot of things that's going to face you. There's a lot of things that's going to tempt you. There's a lot of ways that you got to ride on. So guess what? That's what you have to do. But you don't go in a dominant way. You don't go in a dominant way. These kids need protection. Now, getting back to Miss Peoples. When this lady can come on a show and say that she can't understand how the prosecutor of Washtenaw County is handling the case with James Scaletta the way he's handling it. Now, James Scaletta is the one that went into Miss Peoples' house, went up through the window.
3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning, went in the little boy's bedroom, unscrewed the light bulb, and laid himself on top of the little boy. And then the little boy got to fight to get that grown man off him. She can understand how the prosecutor is handling this. On the onset, I talked to Eli Savage, and I wish him well, but I hope he changed, because he's a young enough man to change if he wants to. I talked to him on the onset, and I asked him, I said, how in the world with this hideous crime that's been committed, the evidence that are there, you got a video from a neighbor's house where you see James Scaletta walking behind between the two houses, going up in the window.
Evidence
Right there. You got fingerprints off of the light bulb that he screwed out of the socket till it went black. And when it went black, that's when the little boy woke up, because he was used to sleeping with the light on. And you got all this evidence. And you gonna tell me that you want to give this man boot camp and a year probation? That's a man that can't happen. And you should never even want it to happen under your watch. So he admitted that he hadn't looked at it. I said, wait, man, you are the prosecutor. Everything that comes through your office, you supposed to see, you got to sign it, man. So if you sign it, you must be Ray Charles and can't see. Cause it's there. Well, Mr. Tooson, I'm going to look at it. I'm going to look at it again. And he did. He looked at it again. But then, and he called me back, and he says, it's not going to be boot camp. It's not going to be boot camp. There's another route. Okay, I'm satisfied. It's not going to be boot camp. He's not going to get that slap on the hand and that popsicle and them tennis shoes put on him. I was satisfied with that. And then later on, man, as months passed, his team come back up with another solution for this crime. We are going to give him a year in Washtenaw County Jail and 5 years probation. I said, good Lord, have mercy, man. I said, man, this crime here deserves a minimum of 3 years. But let me tell y'all what's happening here. James Scaletta is a defense attorney. Now, I don't know if he's still practicing since he committed this crime against the little 14-year-old boy. But Eli Savage is a defense attorney also. And he came to Washtenaw County acting in the fashion of a defense attorney, because the prosecuting experiences for him wasn't there. It wasn't there. So he was acting in that fashion, a defense attorney.
Right.
But then I tell him, I said, man, these things cannot go. I said, Miss Peoples must be made whole. Her son must be made whole. When you can see this 14-year-old kid with bruises around his neck, where he had to fight this assailant off this grown 37-year-old man. His assailant was 37 years old. He 14. He's just a regular kid trying to go to school, and you got a defense attorney that then went to school, went to the bar, and practicing law with intentions, in my estimation, raping this little boy. What in the world you gonna go in that little boy's room for at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Hey Lee, hold,
You going there to play video game with him?
Lee, hold one quick second. Let me do a little house cleaning.
Okay.
For those who are on the show and actually watching the show and making comments, if you don't like what we have said, keep your comments to yourself. If you don't like watching the show, delete yourself off the page. At the same time, we are talking about a serious issue of a woman being violated, her and her 14-year-old boy being violated. And if you have comments on the issue, comment. But if you want to add other things on this issue, delete yourself off the topic or off the group page. We're not going to deal with the buffoonery. And for those who have made statements on YouTube, and it's one person that mentioned that they don't appreciate us talking about race. But let me explain something to you, ma'am. I want to really quickly say this to you out of the bottom of my heart. When we bring on a show about Black people, we bring on a show about Black people. Me being a Black man, I might say the word nigger. I might say the word African American. I might say the word that you might identify with Black people. I'm not going to speak like you want me to speak, ma'am, you on YouTube. I'm not going to talk like you want me to talk, because that means I will be rolling the way you want me to roll. So if I want to talk about a white man that has broke into a white woman's house to attempt to molest her 14-year-old son, and I call this white man a white man, and if you can't dig it, and if you don't appreciate it, do me a favor, in my mama's words. Delete your punk ass off my page, off the show, because we don't need to hear from you. Your statements are not appreciated, and I'm going to tell you live. I'm not going to sit there and comment on everyone that makes a post or makes a comment, because if you say some asinine shit, what I'm going to do is tell you either leave or I will help you delete you off the group. We are talking about a serious situation. We're talking about a predator, a privileged white man who's a lawyer who got off. Very serious topic. So if you people who want to make comments, I'm addressing you now live, because I'm not going to go behind the tape, the typing. I'm going to tell you live. You can always see me in person. You know my number. But don't make no statements or don't make no comments about the topic if you're not on the topic. If you're not talking about the topic. This lady needs help. And if you're a Karen, or if you're a white woman that's commenting on our topic, you need to cease and desist, because you know the social media gonna be all on your ass. So I'm sorry, Lee, for taking over the flow for a second. I had to do a quick public service announcement for all these people that want to comment, or the few people that want to comment, and your comments really are irrelevant. We're talking about helping this woman get justice, Blacks and whites.
I understand it, Bro Bridges. I understand that, and you're gonna always get those kind of people.
Those people.
But see, what I what I always tell people, they have to understand with me, Dave Tooson made it possible that I was born free on his plantation down in Alabama. 1,500 acres of property that belonged to my granddaddy, Dave Tooson, through his foreparents. So I was born free, not subjected to nobody but the good master, God himself.
That's right.
And you know, and I don't mind people doing that because see, I'm out here, Ty. I'm like Job. Job said, naked I came here, and naked I'm gonna leave. Ty, I'm not looking for anything. I want anybody listening, I want them to understand Lee Tooson is not looking for nothing. I don't want to come to the party. I do not want to sit at the table because a lot of times when you sit at the table, you can't eat. You just have to get the crumbs that falls off the table, and then the old master call the dogs and sick them on you and make him. Oh boy, let me talk about it. See, these kids, these folks don't know what's going on.
They don't.
The crumbs that falls from the table, old Ladders was at the gate, and I hear the old master say, "Sick him, sick him." And guess what happened? An angel came down from heaven, if you want to talk like that. But it's not written that that's what happened. An angel came down from heaven, I'm paraphrasing, and instead of sicking him, he licked him. He licked Lazarus' soul. So I'm not looking for anything from these people out here that might be, talking against Lee Tooson. I don't care. That's been happening since 1986.
Yeah.
So that's not that does not concern me at all.
At all.
None at all. There are always going to be people that need someone to advocate for them, and there's going to be always people that go ahead with the system the way it works and take the notion saying, "Oh, they must have done something they had no business. They messed with them." I'm not like that.
Small-minded people.
Getting back to Miss Peoples, yes, she's hurting, and I'm not satisfied with the way the prosecutor is handling this. The prosecutor is saying that he can't bring this this little boy as a witness because he's out of the country. If the prosecutor wanted to, the prosecutor can do whatever he want to do because guess what? He's the chief leader of the gang. You hear? He's the chief leader of the gang. So he can do whatever he wants to do. Even bringing another charge against Scaletta. The prosecutor could bring that against him if he wanted to. Although the magistrate on the onset wouldn't allow it, the prosecutor could add it if he desired to do it.
And he can recharge.
That become upsetting to me, Tyrone, when I know that it can happen.
And he can recharge.
I hear people all the time about, oh, that Lee Tooson think he know everything. No, Lee Tooson don't know everything. But Lee Tooson ain't no fool. From 1986 up until right now, Lee Tooson used to sit up in the courtroom and watch cases. Lee Tooson went to college and graduated with a degree in criminal justice. So he ain't no fool, but it ain't nothing that I brag about. It's nothing that I brag about. You know, who cares if I got a degree in criminal justice? At the end of the day, nobody don't care. So what am I get out there broadcasting that for? Again, I don't have nothing to lose, man.
Right.
But people's here has it all to lose. This little boy, traumatized the rest of his life because of what has happened to him.
In his own house. In his own bed.
Man, in his own house, 3 o'clock in the morning. You got the judge that ordered him to go to out of the country. That same judge that ordered him to go out of the country.
The 14-year-old boy.
Come back.
Right.
He can order to come back to testify
Right.
because the kid wants to testify.
He sure
He
do.
wants to testify as to what happened to him. And then plus this, the prosecutor, if he wants that kid to come back, all he got to do is get a ticket out of that. I think it's about $2,500 or $25,000. It's probably about $25,000.
Shit, the public could help get the boy back.
If the public desired to, but you know what? There's money allotted.
Right.
Them kind of commissioners allot money for these kind of things every January 1st. So I think it's $25,000. So if he wants to take out that $25,000, send that boy a ticket and get him back here, so he could do that. But you know what? There's a dead cat on the line somewhere as the reason why he don't want to do it.
And the public should be outraged.
The public should be outraged, but you know what? I'm gonna show you how the public is. It ain't none of my child.
And that's sad. That's
ain't
sad.
None of my child. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Oh, that's a white boy.
And I don't wish that on nobody, man. But I swear, for some of these people who got these want to comment on everything, I pray to God. I don't wish it on you. But if it was your child, if it was your household, I'm just saying, you feeling what she feeling right now.
You know what you do with them kind of people? You got to consider the fact that their head ain't been up against the wall yet.
No, their head ain't been up against the wall.
When their head get up against the wall, they're going to be hollering like a stuck hole. I need help. And they won't want somebody to come to their rescue. And then a lot of times when you see people comment like this, those are the kind of folks that's doing something that they don't want to bring attention to themselves that they know is against the system.
And they a lot of times they just want to take the attention off the main focus. And like I said,
Absolutely.
you know, I had to
let's get back on the main focus, Ty.
Yeah.
And leave them alone, because you're gonna always have them haters. You take it from this old 75-year-old man. You're gonna always have them haters out there. So don't worry with them.
Like I said, if it's necessary, you know where I live. But like I said, you know my number. The crazy part about it is this woman is being offended by the prosecutor and not being protected by the prosecutor and also by our judicial system. You know, the judges that's involved in this whole system, this whole court case, they all need to be brought out.
There's no question. There's no question, man, that it's a breakdown in the system. The system is screwed up. You support my campaign, and when I get into office, I'm gonna see what I can do for you.
Yeah.
There's one particular case that hurts my heart, man. There was a gentleman that got shot by a boy. His mother is a prominent attorney.
Mm.
Her son shot a guy because the guy would not move his delivery truck in time.
Mm, mm, mm.
Let me show you how this system works. Boy in jail, right?
Yeah.
Restorative justice. Here it comes. You want to go to court. Prosecutors always want to go to court and ask for a reduced sentence without consulting the victim.
Wait, so the prosecutor want to go to court and ask for a reduced sentence for the boy who shot the delivery driver?
That's right. That's right. Want to reduce sentence because you know what? Money talks and everything else ain't got no feet.
And I wonder who that boy connected to.
See, so but my thing is here, I think every person in Washington County that believe that the children are our future and believe that children need justice as well as anybody else. See, a lot of times we as grown folk, we don't believe what kids say. Oh, he just run off at the mouth. But there's some truth in what those kids are talking about, but we don't want to give them the prop of believing them. So I'm asking everybody in Washington County that's viewing this, or that it can be shared to folks, Miss Peoples needs help. And the way she needs help is contacting that prosecutor's office. Even if you got to come out in a community forum. I mean, the case is an ongoing case, and undoubtedly you won't be able to talk about it in an ongoing case, but you certainly, I mean, in a community forum, but you certainly can go to him on the telephone, or you meet him in person and tell him your dissatisfaction about this.
And let him know you're aware.
The kids are our future. The leaders of our communities, white preachers, as well as black preachers. I don't care if you be woman or man. If you're a woman, I ain't gonna say now time that God didn't call you to preach, because that ain't my business.
Right.
It's not my business at all. If it's a white woman preacher, a white man preacher, black woman preacher, black man preacher, you need to come out and voice your opinion about how Miss Peoples is being treated. Because let me show you something. If you know about it and you do nothing, just as bad as Ellie Savage.
Yeah.
You're just as bad as he is. It's almost like some of these folks when in the South, when they go and snitch on the man that stole the peanuts out of the barrel. And the old master got him up on the thing, getting ready, on the gallows, getting ready to hang him. And he wants to testify, say, Master, I have something to say. I have something to say. Master said, no, too late now. Too late. Well, okay, go ahead on, hang him. I'm going to throw him back. See, and that's pretty much what's happening in a lot of cases now. People know these folks be doing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And they won't come out and say nothing about it. Well, as long as you ain't messing with mine, but let it happen to yours.
You're going to be quiet as hell, too.
Here you come like James Brown, and you ain't going to be feeling good. You understand what I'm saying, man? So
Yes,
this is my thing. I want the community, man, to get behind Miss Peoples. My telephone number is wide open. I'll give it to you now. And you can call me anytime. I'm the vice president of the NAACP, associated with the National Action Network. And you can call me anytime. And I'm also legal redress. I'm over legal redress in the NAACP. You can call me anytime. 734-772-7711. I'm going to repeat that. 734-772-7711. Call me anytime, because you know what? One day, you don't know when the day coming, you're going to need help. One day, you're going to need help. And you do not know when that day coming. And you do not want to ever be said if you make it to the gate. You don't want to hear him say, depart from me.
You work
your work of iniquity.
I
never
know
knew
you not.
That little boy that needed help, and you didn't come to it. You didn't come to his rescue. His mother needed consoling, and you didn't come to his rescue. Lord, when did I do that? The least you do unto one of these little ones of mine, you done it also unto me.
That's right.
They try to think I'm gonna hush my mouth there.
Hey, Lee, I thank you.
And put on but I want to say something to the listening audience. I want to say something to them that might agree and that might not agree. I want to say
All right.
this to them.
Shoot
I
to him.
want them to listen very close. Reckoning time is coming. Oh, reckoning time is coming. Reckoning time is coming. Will you be able to stand? Good night, Ty.
All right, Lee. Peace.